Um, I mean, I guess this means that we're not going to see this quap flexed, really. Almost every single counter has been removed from the equation.
Radiant
You're not going to
team
lesh
pick.
into it as well.
Dusk.
Okay, get to see a Tusk come out here. I do like menu ping Tusk. I feel like that's probably the stronger of the two. And I know you have a bit of a boner for the Shadow Demon wanting to
Hang
be in
on.
position for.
Hang on, hang on, hang on,
10
hang on.
seconds
We
remaining.
are.
It's a
You gotta be.
PG-13 stream. I'm allowed
Yeah,
one.
Five
yeah.
seconds
What?
I'm allowed
remaining.
one.
One? I feel like that would
That's
be an
the
M
rule.
stream then.
No. The BTS is an American company, and in PG-13 movies, they are allowed one F-bomb, and I didn't even drop the F-bomb. So
Is that confirmed? Like, are you sure about? I don't know.
in movies,
Where have you got this information from? Like,
the
one.
internet, no one ever lies on the internet.
Radiant team pick.
I don't into. Yeah, right. All right. I'm a big fan of Tusk. I thought he got buffed up a lot as well in the patch. I think the increasing damage from shards and snowball both.
That's it. That's the big change,
Yeah.
right?
10
Because
seconds remaining.
you don't need level 15 anymore to clear an entire creep wave. You can actually
5
somewhat
seconds
do a bit of split
remaining.
pushing on your own without revealing your position for too long. It's quick cast both spells once they're fully maxed out, duck back into the fog of war, and
Dire
remain hidden
team
and
pick.
an unknown commodity for the enemy team. I think that's a really big change for the Tusk. They did nerf him with one thing, right? Like they reduced the damage on the Walrus Punch slightly, but they compensated with something else, right? Reducing the cooldown. Yeah, it's down to 20 seconds at level 1 instead of 36, which is
Which is
pretty
big.
damn big.
10 seconds remaining.
I think they changed the kick and some of the talents as well. But
5
yeah,
seconds
definitely.
remaining.
I think the Tusk is something to look out for. Yeah, people. It's. I think very specific to players and teams and drafts as well with physical damage, which is something Execration have kind of gone into with the draft like this. You've got Snapfire now to pair with the Templar Assassin minus armor. You can enable TA even more with the Bloodlust. So a lot of ways to amplify TA's damage. And for Orca, how do they want to try and look to answer this with their 18th pick? The GY's hero they go for?
I think they should. I mean, you know what your matchup's going to be. You're up against a TA in the laning stage. Oh, I
Radiant
don't know.
team
Maybe
back.
Execration will look to adjust this a little bit, just to have um the
Dire
TA into
team
the Quap
back.
isn't a horrible matchup. You force them to go into the uh into the buying sentry wards to be able to counter your meld for dodging the shadow strike, and you can get a good amount of farm.
Radiant team ban.
I do like the Terrorblade pick though from Orca. You've something that they're very comfortable on. That they were actually able to win the qualifiers to lead
Dire
into
team
Division
back.
2 off the back of this Terrorblade here for VT Faded. You've got Shadow Demon support, Tusk support to enable. So whether it's a Tusk Terrorblade lane, I'm really a favorite about just because of a hero to amplify the potential to get kills off Metamorphoses and extra illusions as well with the banishment is nice.
10
And not only
seconds
just that,
remaining.
because Execration have the minus armor from both Snap and Templar
5
Assassin. If you're
seconds
pretty
remaining.
physical
Radiant
damage
team pick.
reliant, then Terrorblade's a hero that has a ridiculous amount of armor as the game goes on. So big fans of at least the Terrorblade, but now you need to identify how you can bring him down in regards to magical damage. And Orca, they try and protect that with the Tinker and the Lesh band out.
Yeah, so we have to consider what else is
10
really left
seconds
there. It's
remaining.
basically just like Void Spirit. And how
5
do you feel
seconds
about
remaining.
Zeus? I mean, this game, it's not a horrible Zeus game, right? Because even if a Tusk snowballs you, now you've got that, what's it called? Heavenly Leap or something like that?
Yeah,
Where you can actually get out of the shards.
Heavenly Jump. Yeah, I think Static Field being a
Void
Agshard nerfed a lot of his damage. I think you
Mm.
have to go Agshard now, but they got the Void Spirit for Bob, so it's something that I feel like definitely fits Bob a little bit more than what the Zeus would have, and
For
it's
sure, yeah.
as the game goes on, like it's going to be a favored lane matchup for the Queen of Pain though.
10
But as the game
seconds
goes on,
remaining.
you have decent control first the clock, whether it's yours into Ag
5
Scepter,
seconds
and a lot
remaining.
of burst to deal with the Terrorblade.
So, what is left in the pool? That is a lot of damage over time. And Veno this, would they? To the TA.
You could if you put Tusk as a 4. You really could. I wouldn't hate that at all. Your playmaking is pretty grim.
You may
Okay.
now select
I
your
mean, that's
heroes.
pretty good too, right?
Yeah.
Combine it together with the Tusker. Lots of physical damage, some good team fight control, which was something that they would have been lacking if they did go down the Veno route. Um, can enable Citrus to go for a bit of a deeper dive if you did decide to go for the Aghanim Scepter on the Darkseer. I wonder what sort of like it. This feels like I was about to say it feels like a pipe game that the Darkseer needs to go, but they also have a good amount of physical damage too with the TA and the Spirit Breaker. It is a core Spirit Breaker this time around. Don't forget that. So kind of what I was thinking towards the starting part of this draft. It's one of those things that once you get that Shadow Blade, it's just about finding menu ping on his Shadow Demon and looking to punish it in every chance that you get. Just constantly charge onto him, burst him down before he's able to cripple you with the Demonic Purge.
All right. Well, how are we feeling about this last game? Do we feel like Execration have the lineup, what it takes to take the series 2-0, or can Team Orca continue with the trend today and tie this one up 1-1?
I think we're going to get a 2-0 here. I think Execration got this. I feel like they're lacking a little bit of team fight control right now on Orca's side, and I feel like the Spirit Breaker is just so much easier to execute a lot of the moves that you want to be making. And Palos, I think he's going to have just a fine time this time around.
I'm going to counter that. I think Orca is a really good Terrorblade game. The one concern is I feel like Execration could run over this being on Radiant, so you've got access to Roshan, and you need to come online before TB is a big issue, but towards the later stages, the Darkseer team fight potential in a higher ground where you've got the Terrorblade to rip them apart, the amplification with the tag team as well, really to buff up that damage, and it's something I'm looking for Orca to look to play off the back
Prepare
of,
for
but
battle.
it is going to, they really have to keep an open mind about the early Roshan potential for Execration and how they look to diminish the farm that Palos can get by the triangle as well.
See where they're looking to ward up. Nice deep one put in by Yif. So using the extra movement speed coming through from the smoke of the seat. They're trying to bait that one out there, it seems, with Citrus. He's gone for a little bit of the mind game play, even just moving the Iron Branch back into his real inventory from his backpack as he retreats away after Tino spots him. So, they might know. Is this a thing that they've attempted in a pub or something like that? Because they pinged right on top of where the actual ward is.
30 seconds to battle.
Sneaky stuff coming out. And Shenzo, let's see this. Where does he want to pop a sentry? We often see like the enemy team trying to scout out if the tower gets the aggro. They're going to see Yif at the moment. Dive got... Tusker's always a very strong level 1 brawler. Let's see if Orca kind of bring the numbers for a fight. They are going to see Yif and GY on the higher ground, so they're going to be cautious they block off at least one of the escape avenues. Going to look to man fight Palos. Now, give him a little bit of breathing room. He still pops out instantly with the help of Vincenzo and Shank stepping over. A couple more right clicks. Should do the trick on Yif. He's got boots though, so relatively speedy. And he's actually just going to go denied to the tower. So the kill nonetheless will be picked up. Shanks and Vincenzo getting the experience.
Right, just going a little bit too eagerly. I mean, I feel like that's not too bad of a trade if you've actually got someone else with you there, but I don't think level 1 Tusk Darkseer is going to be killing anybody, so it was a very ambitious move to try and secure that bounty rune there.
You never.
Again, they're going to make the attempt. Tag team along with the Iron Shell. Palos take a lot of damage now, and they will find a return kill, so we'll take them, couple of seconds to pick that one up. But in the end, with Yif coming out to the lane, very nicely done.
You'll see no goal.
And with top, so we saw Tino previously on the Necrophos. Something we were saying was a little bit different of a playstyle here. And now over to the Spirit Breaker. It's definitely the Execration classic, whether it was Escort playing it, Rage Potato a while ago, and with Tino, they're like, all right, it's just, if you come to the team, you have to play Spirit Breaker as a 3, otherwise you're no good to join.
It's like the mascot team, essentially.
Spirit Breakers. I mean, interesting mascot, a space cow. Oh, Tana's got level
And
2
you
now.
You're dead.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Scatter
is
Blast
under
extra
attack.
slow. Tino. Oh, we
Maybe
didn't get
not.
the bash. Sorry, I want you to apologize to good old Shadow Demon there. Hurt his feelings saying he was going to die, and he actually escaped.
No.
I don't know how Menu Ping's going to feel about that. He might. Maybe this time, alright? Hold the banishment so Elite holds back Tino. You see the aggressive maneuvers they're putting on top, though. Really trying to find these early kills as best as possible, but it does give Terrorblade a nice time to pick up his farm as we look over to mid. Bob and Citrus. How's the lane looking at the moment? Nothing too crazy. Void Spirit's actually got a pretty big advantage. I'm surprised about this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, actually, it is a little bit confusing, right? And Bob even has this creep wave pushing in underneath his tower, so he's a good, like, full wave ahead right now of Citrus in the last hits front. Has to be a little bit careful though. The water rune available, and you don't want to be diving this deep on a Darkseer. It's going to suffer a fair amount. I mean, Yep, at least still has the remnants of an Ion Shell there as a sad face gets drawn on the map. But I feel like you're missing a lot of these key timings. Level 3 is a very strong point for a Darkseer.
Oh. He's going to get the T-Beam from Vincenzo to refill the bottle. He actually gets in range for the Fire Blast, and Citrus will be able to run away, though. So not feeling too happy, though, that Bob is already having a good start to the lane and also now getting some assistance as well.
Gratitude of the void.
I wonder if... Oh, the deny there. I have to wonder if Bob wanted to actually go for the handoff back of the bottle.
You might
To try and
never
maybe
recover.
take the bounty rune that's in their own jungle, but just wanting it for that 4-minute rune for now.
Mine!
Be able to have Vincenzo down here. Yeah, the lane's not in a great safe spot for Palace, though. I was thinking maybe he might mind the bottom rune, which he does go back to do as he gets a stack off as well.
Alos? Gonna be in trouble here. You're able to block up the Templar Assassin, and you see how easily they can melt through the refraction charges. So Vincenzo putting a lot more emphasis on securing mid with that TP in and getting the water rune as well. So this is definitely putting a Palace in a tricky position to play the lane.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Palace is the one that's going to win the game, right? So you have to obviously always weigh any kind of movement up with, well, what's the alternative there? And that time around, Vincenzo just stayed out of the lane for far too long against the strong kill combo. Again, level 3, lots of potential for death in that lane. Especially now that he's 4. Point in the surge. They're up together well with here.
Actually, should go down here unless the shard's able to block up Palace. Nice body blocks, but the fact... Oh my... GY... There's no way he gets away. Yiv's gonna try and put his body on the line here. Vincenzo's still hunting. It's like he'll turn to try and stun up Yiv as Palace doesn't get the kill. Oh no.
Oh, they got neither.
No. Oh, the tips are well deserved, man. That shards he gives it the emote too. Hey.
Who's that?
Some absolute loser. Terrorblade is... Oh, VT Faded's Love and Life. This is looking like a much different game here for Orca. You're not getting steamrolled over with the laning phase, and they already got more kills than what they had last game. What they have last game, I don't remember now. Was it 2?
4.
4? Okay. We're close. Not there just yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
So close
attack.
to the magic number as well. It's 4 to 19 kill score at the end.
Something that I was asking, Orca to put a little bit of emphasis on was trying to block some of the stacks at the triangle. They already have a double, I believe, at the Ancients and a quad at the Hard, so Palace, even though he's having a bit of a rougher lane, I mean, it's still second in net worth, so even after the 2 previous deaths, he will have a lot of catch-up.
Citrus just trying to be a menace against Bob here. Continuously harassing him out, using the just standard 2 points in the Shadow Strike. Try and bully him out alongside that haste rune as Looks like Palace doesn't feel like he's in a
Citrus?
situation.
Yo, that was close. Sonic Wave jump in.
Yeah, to be able to take a lot of these stacks. Shanks still looking to build them up, maybe wanting to save that for full 7-minute mark so that you can get that higher chance of getting some of those neutral items up and available, give them over to the team, and perhaps go for that first big power spike alongside the level 6 on the Spirit
Dire's
Breaker,
middle
the
tower
phase
is
boots.
under
It's a lot of
attack.
damage potential if you're able to get that amount of levels on the map.
You already see VT Faded's fallen back to the jungle here, so give over to the lane to menu ping on the Shadow Demon. He's gonna do a good job, just try and deny whatever he can, get a little bit of experience from the small camp. But it should be a lane that eventually Execration can just overwhelm. I mean, Shadow Demon's not the greatest support to be able to occupy this by himself. Vincenzo probably gonna end up going down bottom. They got a creep wave to tank up the tower if need be. It's gonna be a kill going with the favor of Orca, and
Dire's
GY will
top tower
get
is
the
under
bounty
attack.
for that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Good job to stall it out for this long. I mean, they don't have the strongest tower taking lineup. It needs to be the creeps doing the majority of the work. So that's exactly what GY is going to do, trying to maximize his farm as much as possible. Might wait for this 8-minute mark to pull the creep wave in. Nope, he's actually going to go to the hard camp instead. So yeah, you just want to be doubling up as much as you can if you're forced to hero out a lane like they have.
Could we see Orca make any aggressive movements to try and take away the stacks from Palos, or no real potential?
Too late.
Radiant's bottom
I don't think they're
tower
at a
is under
stage
attack.
just yet. Maybe if they had the Sonic Wave available again, but Citrus is just short of it. The downside of using it so early on and not getting the kill from it. You
Radiant's bottom tower
are
is under
quite
attack.
suffering, and honestly,
Radiant
both mid laners
are fortified.
damn poor, at least relative to the Darkseer, TB, and TA combination.
Execration. I'm gonna try and set up
Dire's top tower is under attack.
some heroes down bottom. There was a charge caster from Tino, but it's actually going to cancel this around mid. So Dire, they've already repositioned away. Have hold the tower at the moment here for Execration. Let's see if they still want Bob to stick around.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Gotta respect the damage. Jif actually went 2 points in shards as well. And Timo's gonna come through. Citrus is joining as well. Has the ultimate if need be. With the ball down, Bob's able to reposition. Citrus gonna hunt. Sonic Wave. Does he just clip the damage? He does, but Bob is at least on the western side. And Shanks is body blocking GY for the moment. So Bob's gonna be okay. And a 0 for 1, which could be more deaths though for Orca, is now Tino slowly moving on towards bottom. GY surviving on a slither of health, but the TP out, no way he gets away! Oh, Tino just gets there in the nick of time. Bashes back Citrus as well after the blink. So his mobility now expanded as Execration find 3 and no one dies.
Very odd that Menu Ping just spends his entire time up on the top side. This is a position 5 Shadow Demon. It is not his priority to make sure he's able to get that early farm. His priority is making sure that this Queen of Pain snowballs. And right now, she is not doing that. She is only barely ahead of a position 4 Snapfire in terms of not just the gold bounty, but she's only a couple of levels ahead right now, which definitely shouldn't be the case.
Dire's
Get
bottom
even
tower
worse
is
with
under attack.
Yif
No way Yif
targeted
gets
here.
his kill.
Actually,
Oh my god, Yif, are you serious? He's 100% going down, but the fact that he gets the kill before he does? Oof.
Chad?
What are your thoughts about the second point ice shards? Because again, like, I feel like tag team's always something you max out. I don't know if this is just a little bit different now with the
Dire's top
changes.
tower is under attack.
I like it. I mean, what are you really... Who else is tag teaming when you're looking to fight here, right? Like, a Darkseer isn't going to be in there right-clicking. A Shadow Demon isn't going to be in there right-clicking. So I feel like you're getting a lot more value out of just having that burst potential, as well as the possibility of using ice shards twice in a team fight.
He
Dire's
has even gone for a
middle
third
tower
point
is
in it
under
now.
attack.
Well, the task with the tome that was completed, so it will give him a way to keep up in farm. Like you're saying,
Radiant's
tag
bottom
teams,
tower is under
it's really
attack.
only VT Faded, and well, he's just looking to farm at the moment. So not an ability max out that really
Radiant's bottom
enables
tower
you to
has
kind of
fallen.
shove the lanes when you have that option. So we'll see, maybe this enables Yif to progress a little bit further. Top Citrus
Dire's middle
Unable to get in range fast enough, so Menu Ping. Nice way to hold back the life of Citrus at the moment. Now with the reinforcement shot, be even. I mean, that is
Unnecessary.
Yes, that's one way to put it. Unnecessary use of the Sonic Wave. So they get the kill on Tino, but now with the rest of Execration looking to show up to brawl.
Confident.
Bob's going to jump deep behind the tower. GY is going to try and add to the call for the team fight here. Nice use of the wall, getting a multiple illusion to take this skirmish. Pala's going to try and TP out. They've got the damage to go through Bob on the outskirts, but they can't cancel the TP on Palos.
It's a deep dive, and it's 2 cores for 2 supports, so Orca are going to be feeling very happy about the outcome there, as Citrus is still stayed in that mid lane. He realizes that he hasn't had the best start that he would have been wanting, so he needs to continuously stay here and get that farm.
Citrus, get the cookie stun. Oh, they're going to need a lot of bashes. Oh, Shanks having maxed out Scatter Blast is enough.
And when he respawns, he's still going to have 20 seconds on that TP cooldown. So another Walk of Shame coming through. How many times have you seen a co-op this poor at the 13-minute mark of the game?
Radiant are scanning.
Especially in a lane matchup that should be favored. I guess that's not really where the issues started to come from for Citrus, though. It was really afterwards.
A lot of those usages of the Sonic Wave, I think I've counted 2 now, actually, that probably could have been given over to the rest of the team. That's something that I feel like Bob has been doing a pretty good job at punishing. Always, whenever he sees that that Sonic Wave isn't there for the burst potential, sees that he can look to make a little bit of a deeper dive. That's the sort of Bob that we wouldn't have seen previously. One that just feels like going balls to the wall constantly.
Radiant, they're eyeing up VT faded. Pretty close to the T1 tower. Orca's rotation's going to start to flock on over as Shanks with the target. A quick and easy kill. Citrus going to love getting a little bit of golden experience of this. They're still eyeing up Palace, though. He's got Tino nearby. They themselves have been able to retreat safely to the tier 1, so they can also have some extra numbers show up to the fight if it does break out. Enchant to the target. Vacuum back into the shards, and there will be no escape. And now they can connect this to a potential objective. They still got half duration on the meta.
Invisibility.
Another ambitious TP coming through there from the Ogre. Obviously feeling quite strong at this stage of the game, and it's a little unfortunate that he's died repeatedly.
They're going to try and start the fight with the kisses in the back line. Shanks, oh no, Bob position next to Shanks. They've got to cancel off the kisses against Citrus. This time he's going to be able to bring down Bob with the Sonic Wave. Now they'll turn to deal with the Snapfire as well as Palos. I mean, he's not in fighting shape. Recognizing with this blink to reset his position after VT Faded targeted him with the Sunder. So Orca. Well, we're speaking about that kill quota they had in game 1. It was 4, and they're well and truly tripled that, and looking like a much better game for the boys on Dire.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I am a little bit worried that they're just consistently trying to fight into this lineup because she's got a TA. She's going to be doing a pretty decent job. Maybe they're just worried that, physical damage into the Terrorblade, it's not something that you're best primed to be able to take out, but I feel like they could just do things like wait for example, the Veil, which has just been purchased up by the Ogre. That's going to go a long way towards the damage potential that you've got in a lot of these early team fights.
Palos? Coming over to Yif. Who's ran into who? Yif? The Iron Shell just gets the refraction, and I mean, Menu Ping's going to be nearby to at least give Yif an opportunity to reposition. With the Ignite coming out, multicast as well. They'll find a double kill on the support. It will still cost the knife nonetheless for Vincenzo as GY and Citrus looks to step on over. But the damage has been dealt. You killed off the top of the net worth hero in Palos, so now Terrorblade's getting some opportunity to catch back up across the map.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's one of those things that we mentioned, right? Iron Shell against a TA, pre-BKB, always going to be incredibly effective. Doesn't have the Dragon Lance either. Just went straight for the Blink Dagger build, so the fact that you've gone this and you're not getting kills as a result of it is a pretty big deal for Palos. Just looking to immediately connect again to this mid lane. But Queen of Pain's going to have her ultimate. Darkseer has his ultimate. Got a Blink Dagger as well. Going into the Aghanim shard. I love an early Ag shard on a Darkseer.
What was the nerf to it? Was it just the stun duration? Or the cool? I don't remember now.
I
think it
want to
was
say the actual image duration,
yeah, that's it. Yes, yes, yes. 8 second to 6 second now.
Dire
even
are
though it still
scanning.
says 8 seconds, right, on the tooltip.
Thank you very much, tooltips. Never change. Alright, well, Orca, if they win a fight, they can take Roche with tag team and metamorphosis. Bob? She'll target. Two heroes are going to reveal them smoke. GY is still pushing on forward for Vincenzo.
Haste.
Let's see what they can get out of this pick-off. I mean, Radiant have a ward nearby, so this will be scouted out with them maneuvering in the area. Still hate that we can't still see the circle, well, the radius of the sentry. But anyway, that will be patched shortly, I'm sure.
Tag team, so the damage is starting to ramp up a little bit here. TA able to drop her trap, it'll immediately be in vision just to keep track of
Citrus?
how done they are.
He committed with the blink. GY is going to try and follow up to provide Citrus
Under
an
attack.
opportunity to get out to safety to the eastern side, though. Tino disconnected from the team. He's going to be penalized for this. And now with the rest of Orca pushing on forward for more. They still have the ward on the high ground that they can utilize. Shank's going to hold them back there with a kiss. It's inside a choke point, so they're going to be cautious how long this fight breaks up. Toss going to get obliterated, but VT Faded has the opportunity to turn with the Sunder. And now they're going to try and enable him a little bit more as well. Surge in the middle of the fight, but they've got to be cautious now. You've well and truly overstayed your welcome as Paulus ripping apart hero after hero. Triple for the TA, and now they can just lead into Roche.
Damn early Aghanim shot as well for the Snapfire. He was going in super deep here. Just has the 1 point in the little shredder, of course. Be able to buff up this damage into the Roshan. Looks like he's going straight BKB though, feeling like, at least for right now, they're not liking damage. They're just going to need to try and withstand what Orca are throwing at them.
Fallen to the raid forever.
That is...
Dire's middle tower is under
Look at the
attack.
invis. He does. Very nicely done. Nothing too crazy, but now having a power rune that he's potentially able to make a play with, you know, connecting with Tino, who is lowest net worth out of the cores. A very different build on Tino. Phase, well, nothing crazy, but the drums really is the one thing that's kind of standing out. Wraithman too.
Boots of Burden set up either. Disappointing.
Is this... Have you seen any
Dire's
Spirit Breakers
bottom
go for
tower
this?
is under attack.
Phase Boots is just way too effective, right? You just want that
Yep.
burst of movement speed right towards the end of the charge.
Yeah, so the
I wonder if
phase...
that's another way to make it more powerful, right? Like, what if they
Dire's middle
made
tower
the
is under
damage
attack.
like your average movement speed across the entire charge, so you can't just like zip at the very end
Dire's
of it.
middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, because something we see like Bulldoze
Dire's
use at the
turret
end as
has been
well.
killed.
Spider
GY?
legs, Shadow Blade, Phase Boots.
Gonna try and TPR, but Shanks is already positioned. They had the vision, of course, with Tino's charge, and they're gonna make sure their chain control is perfect, just in case there's any hope of him escaping.
Sooner or later.
We're still seeing difficulties with Execration take some objectives across the map. I mean, Palace is at now the Aegis for about a minute 30 here, so wouldn't mind seeing them look to connect to get some more important towers across. If being charged, I don't. This is a bait. VT Faded just completed Scotty. I don't know if you take this fight right by the tier 1. Palos? He's still going with Tino. They're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
what
condemned for
happened.
it. Tino gets brought down. Palos has got the blink and BKB. They're still gonna try and push on. Palos hasn't used anything
Use it
just yet.
quickly.
Trying to dodge the dagger. Palos is
he doing
styling
staying?
on them, but he's really making them work for the kill. Turns, tries to blow up the Tusker with Vincenzo standing hand in hand, but VT Faded still in fighting shape. The 2-for-1 in the end. All of Execration looked to show up in case a potential extra fight was going to break out, and that it does with Bob and Shanks blowing up the Queen of Pain off to the outskirts here, but they've still got issues with VT Faded with his freshly picked up Scotty, so with any support that gets in a position, they're unable to retreat out to safety. Now GY is going to get in the middle of it all as well. Vacuum into the normal punch, and now they're setting up for round 2, and Bob just has to stand on the outskirts and watch as Palace, well, they're going to be penalized for that deep attempt. It took some time for it to occur, but in the end, it will be Orca coming out on top.
It was a really ambitious charge, right? Not just because it was underneath a tier 1 tower. He didn't know where the Shadow Demon was. and you charged across the entire map, you have to assume that they're going to have some kind of vision up because you don't have Shadow Blade yet. So
Dire's top
yeah, that was
tower is
just
under attack.
way too deep that they were going for a
Dire's
support at that
structures are
stage of the game.
fortified.
Maybe you can understand if the entire team is there, ready to set up on a Queen of Pain. but
GY? Trouble. Oh, nice dragon with the snowball. Now GY still not able to outposition himself.
Radiant's middle tower
Well,
is
flies on
under
over to
attack.
provide the burst.
Dire's top tower
Let's see
has
if they make the
fallen.
same mistake as previously. This time that's not the case. They're at least able to evacuate over.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And it's more than likely going to be Vincenzo. I mean, it always seems like it's the case here with him. He's sacrificing his life so the rest of the goons can get out and keep their own. Maybe not Yif though. Yeah, he's exceptional though. Snowball, dragon.
Outrageous.
Another kill for
The
Bob.
entirety of your existence was
I appreciate wanting to make plays around your vision and deny the enemy team the ability to deny your vision. But for mine, Tino, he's very close to it, but you gotta finish the Shadow Blade. Like, there is no excuse to not have it. Just gonna probably TP back to base with it. No, okay. Sends it out to himself. I'm sure he wants to try and attempt for another charge after switching over that pig pole for the Quicksilver amulet. As soon as he lands
Oggy.
this, while he's got the Arcane Rune, so you got to try and make a charge before it expires. Go, go, go. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Disappointed.
Alright, well, another big item though for Execration is Bob completing the Aghanim Scepter. So now that is giving you a decent amount of control and burst potential, not only for the Queen of Pain, but I guess now I was going to say Terrorblade, but I think Bob's more than likely going to eye up the supports just because if you don't kill them, Yif has got Blink, so Blink Snowball potentially, or Menu Ping with the 8th lens into the Banishment. They will have to kind of deal with Orca's backline first.
They just clipped the Spirit Breaker trying to make that charge in onto the Quap on the top side of the map. Attempted to go for the Dust to be able to stop him, but immediately now they're going to smoke up. Counter smokes.
Smoke on smoke.
Dire
Through.
are scanning.
Ooh.
It's all about
Connects.
catching out the Shadow Demon if you can. But look at his positioning. Menu
Oh.
Ping is playing behind the rest of his team towards the back of the big clump.
Alos. Smoke's gonna pop on the high ground. They'll see Citrus. Since Rings, Kaya and Sun's not the easiest target to kill. What's he got on the Corey for the quad? It's Aghanim shot as well. If he can get it
Radiant
delivered,
are
this is gonna be
scanning.
a net worth for him through the fight. Oh, see the Corey? They see Citrus though is underneath the
Under attack.
trap.
Dire's
know?
middle tower is under attack.
Hesitant on how far he
Yeah.
wants to move. Yiv's gonna jump over the tree line though. Finds an angle on Shanks. Then can reposition. They're on the opposite side here, Dire.
Dire's turret has been
How can they get back into their own territory? VT Fate is going to try and find an angle in. Hasn't locked onto anyone just yet. And it's going to continue the charge on forwards. Just the Shadow Demon they're bringing down at the moment. But where's the damage being followed up? As now VT Fate is able to connect. So it's a 2-for-1 to start. But now Shanks as well. Let's just go Ghost Scepter TP up. But they've got a vacuum to cancel that. That was a very awkward engagement.
It was, and for whatever reason, Execration are trying to continuously make these moves while they have no vision of their own. And, I mean, they don't know, obviously, but that Observer Ward on a very obvious high ground spot has lasted its entire duration, so it's completely thwarted their past 2 attempts to make any kind of aggressive play. Alice setting up here for VT Faded, especially now that he's in Metamorphosis form, but have to settle with taking care of all of these illusions.
Hellas is just going to tickle TB. He's got so much armor. Holy 43? I don't know. You're not killing him off the back of Palos. You're killing everyone else. Still is top of the net worth though. And soon has the Daedalus. Get the choreo.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Nice shot.
All right, that's a big deal. I was able to finish that one off. They got
Gives-
the Daedalus now, so they are very enabled for that burst damage, right? Like, you've got a Void Spirit with the Aghanim Scepter, you've got a Spirit Breaker with Quicksilver Amulet, Drums, Shadow Blade. Now you've got the Daedalus on the TA, so it's all about continuously finding the right target. And I feel like that's going to be the Darkseer. Honestly, anyone but the Terrorblade is a very good target to try and go onto.
Alos. Reactions with the blink. Ready? They're going to move down bottom though to take the fight. They have any vision. Vincenzo's got 1 ward available to drop. They already have One as Tino's going to pass through menu ping. This is a great way to start onto both supports as the cores cannot protect them. They've already TP'd away from the bottom area. A nice blink from Yif and he makes it on the high ground, but that could have been much worse. Are they still going?
Go forward, but just throwing the Ogre Magi out there first to try and find someone there on the retreat. Approximately where GY is with that surge coming through from the trees, so maybe that might lead them to say, okay, well, Roche probably isn't up yet, so let's at least try and get a tier 1 tower out of this. What they don't know is that, actually they do, they've got a trap sitting inside the Roche pit, so they'll know that it's spawned. Orca, they're going to be the ones to check first though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, playing blind.
Yeah, they didn't ping it as well. I think.
Bottom tower has fallen.
I think if you know your trap is gone,
Sure. Yeah, sure.
might be an issue.
Yeah, there you go. They ping. They're like, oh yeah, we lost vision there. Something's going on. Maybe we should double check if Roche is up.
Are they charging? Just the lane? Yeah, he's charging the lane, so he might go through. This wouldn't be a bash, would it? But they know. They've got the vision set up there.
I don't know how Execration fight. Orca have been really strong through a lot of the team fights, and GY and a choke point as well is something you have to really put a lot of respect on.
Yeah, their positioning has been super solid right now on Orca, just to protect the supports. That's the big thing in each of these engagements. You've got to make sure Shadow Demon and Tusk have the ability to get that blink save off on the Tusk's case, just walking around nearby for menu ping on his Shadow Demon. Very burst-heavy lineup. You can have that good positioning. It just means so much for the long-term result.
I'm sure Orca would like to wait for VT Faded's Core to be back up, which will be in about 5 seconds here. He's brought out the other components for the Satanic as well. He has toppled the Templar Assassin with the top of the net worth. Something we were saying that Ragdoll, well, Orca, very comfortable on. Man, I wish they would change their logo in game. Just getting baited.
At least the names are different.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it used to be.
Dire's bottom tower
It's farming nearby, so she'll be able to check with her trap. They are going for that Roche, and they will see it. So it's instantly going to get removed. This is the warding set up right out front, but...
Man, look at this.
Tino's just looking for someone to charge.
Orca must feel really strong at this stage of the game, and they're just going to force down Roche. Like, this is saying something about the lineup they feel like they have. Charge. The start, but still menu ping on the backline along with you. Tino's just going to get evaporated. Well, maybe that's why they're feeling strong. You force Spirit Breaker to just charge in mindlessly. Now you got the Monument Kisses to give some vision. Spirit Breaker, can he get involved? Snatch Citrus, able to find the Aegis. Now the disruption allows VT Peter to be able to get the Sunder off. They turn to blow up Palace. Tino's back in, but I don't know if it's going to net them a victory through the team fight. It's Radiant, they're all clumped up. The illusion stealing works along with the rest of Orca's lineup as Citrus chasing forward for more. Is on top of Tino. Lacking a little bit of detection at the moment. It will soon expire with the Shadow Blade, but I mean, in the end, we did see the Terror Blade go down, though. It was Vincenzo claiming the life.
Yeah, he got a multicast on him, just turned around as he was racing for a double damage rune, and beating him there with the luck coming through. But again, it's another one of these team fights that I really rate Tino as a player, but it's a couple of times now where you're just going on to the target that shouldn't be the #1 priority. Shadow Demon killed you once, and then the second time you make the charge, it is a lot of damage that they were able to pump through, but the Shadow Demon was in place, so you couldn't get that full 100 to 0. You've got to get vision up on the enemy side of the map where you know that they're clumping around, and then go for the charge onto these squishier support heroes.
Gave that opportunity for TB to find the Sunder. And
I love this as well on menu ping. Look at what he's going next. He's going for a BKB. He doesn't want to get locked down by the Void Spirit in particular, with a lot of those silences coming through. He always wants the potential to save himself, be able to get this kill onto the Tusk next to the tier 2 tower. But at the time, there were a lot of other people showing on the map as well, so they felt a lot more comfortable to be able to do so. I still think they've got a chance here on Execration. You know, despite everything that's happened, 1K net worth. Yes, it is a TA going into a Terrorblade, so the Terrorblade gets the better end of that
Dire's
matchup just
bottom
because of his
tower is
ridiculously
under
high
attack.
armor. But they're going into Ethereal Blades on not only the Void Spirit, but also the Snapfire. So it's, again, this burst potential, and I feel like they've got the stuff to do it. Gotta get rid of this high ground vision, though, man. Chenzo sees it. Just placed down one sentry ward, but there's multiple around the area that need to be dealt with.
Well, Bob's hit a pretty big timing here with the Spell Amp at level 20 and now E-Blade, so
Yep.
already seeing how much damage he's been able to output in fights, and that's drastically going to
Shanks
increase.
as well. Shanks
Radiant's
has one
middle
too.
tower is under attack.
Really? Hmm. His...
It's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Dire's top
even
tower
defensively
is
as well,
under
like,
attack. Radiant's middle tower
really just
has
Queen of
fallen.
Pain. I guess Iron Shell as well is something you have to keep in mind. Doesn't have GY.
Nice punch.
We're just going to follow up as well. Okay, you're happy with forcing out a BKB, but Bob's going to swing on over. A lot of damage to the Tusker. Shank's falling up as well, but again, you haven't dealt with Menu Pink, so the defensive banishment puts himself in a position where Radiant, you in two minds if you want to commit forward or not. The wall's really not going to be the greatest usage here. Do Radiant smoke, or do they even have one? They're out.
Worthy tribute.
They're out, but I feel like you also feel a little bit awkward, right? Like you used a decent amount in that fight in terms of BKBs and the Mortimer's Kisses. Keep on going for the charge, but again, it can't be onto this terribly.
One thing we didn't mention is that Menu Ping got the Aghanim Shard off Roshan. So he has the Demonic Cleanse now, which... What could you get rid of? Ignite, Silence from Void Spirit if it's not used on him, of course. Trap Slow, E-Blade.
Silence.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, he's got the Ag Shot, so... Yeah, there's a couple of things.
I didn't even, like, not even taking into account the healing, right? 700 cleanse heal at
That
the
is
end of it.
true. Oh, yeah.
Onto a Terrorblade.
Is it the end? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He
Wonder if
also...
status resist. Imagine if that interacted with that. So if you had status resistance, the heal went off quicker.
That would be wild if that's how it worked. I mean, that would be crap for, like, defensive banishments and stuff like that, because then it would work with that, right? Sure.
Yeah, right.
That would be like,
Just
what?
break out of banishment in half a second.
Oh, I don't know about that one. It's just like, oh, no, I want to stay under. Please don't let me out. He did switch up his item build as well. He's got the Ag Scepter now queued up. Bob. Aggressive Blink. Doesn't have anyone else to follow up.
Oh.
He doesn't have Astra Step charges. Pal's going to look to join him now with the BKB. Tino's charging the backline. That's a high valuable target if you can get rid of the Shadow Timber, but it's still going to cost the life of the Void Spirit along with it. A 2 for 2. The Shanks attempts the TPR. They don't have a cancel. Yif a little bit too late to join. Though, I mean, they are crazy on Execration.
And like they at least were able to get rid of that that vision before the team fight happened on the high ground, but going in super deep, not with the entire team. Again, like it was a double E-Blade usage, but no Mortimer's Kisses, no real solid TA involvement either. I don't know how I feel about all of this. I mean, it just feels ballsy for the sake of being ballsy rather than for some kind of logical decision. It becomes a little easier now for Palace. He's hit his level 25. So he has those extra refraction instances. I mean, still against a Darkseer. Lots of small ways to rip on through it.
Another cool item pickup is Vincenzo going for the Ag Shard, which is going to be pretty nice versus the high damage right clicks from the Terrorblade. I guess you do have illusions though, so...
It's only 3. Like, it's not amazing, to be totally honest.
Hater!
Bro, I'm an Ogre spammer too. I'm allowed.
I'm still surprised how Radiant have... this net worth lead is all off the back of the
Dire's middle
Snapfire,
tower
so...
is under attack.
You take a look at it and you're like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm being baited with them still having this lead. It really doesn't feel like it. Then you look at Snapfire's 5,000 lead over the, his counterpart. Well, I guess it's a Tusk, so it's even larger than that.
Got double the Tusk's net worth.
It's crazy how Shakes. Well, he's going to give away a decent amount of gold there. That's a lot of gold, actually. Wow. What?
And not have buyback because he bought up 2 portions of the Yules.
It's a big kill on GY if they can get it.
Radiant's top tower is under
Aeon
attack.
popped. Multicast 3 times. Tino's flying in.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Cancel this one out. Both position ones just completed a butterfly as well. And VT Faded's not on your high ground, lads. Woo! This tower's getting
Got the cliff.
melted.
Has been killed.
There we go.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wait, Pella's bought Butterfly and has MKB. My guy's rich. Where's his... What? Alright, he just got 2 real big items. This could be something that catches them off
Without the
guard.
snap. Snap is such a huge portion of their damage right now.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
I feel like they could just do that every single time they've got the Metamorphosis. You've just got no way to deal with this Terrorblade. Just walk up and honestly, kind of like what they're doing right now, let the Illusions do the work. Both the Terrorblade's own as well as the Shatter Demon.
Smoke up. Lines are drawn. He's got the level 25 talent, so meta's still up for actually a decent amount of time if the fight breaks out. They got to be cautious because look at GY's positioning. Back him onto 2. Able to land the wall at the last seconds. It's just going to try and find an angle in as well. That's enough to get rid of the life of Vincenzo. Tino thinking about stepping in. That's the target you can bring down to start. Without having menu ping along with Yif, it's really not going to enable Orca. And now, I mean, the meta's expired too. You've got to reset away from the area if you're the boys on Orca. They're going to pounce on forward. Gems dropped on the deck, but I mean, VT Faded's in trouble. GY's going to try and provide a little bit of assistance. Yule's kiting out the use of the Satanic, and now VT Faded. Drag back. Can they chain control before the Sunder? He's got the Manta, not enough to disrupt. GY's going to go down before the TPs. The crits rain through from Palos.
And only one person has buyback. It's just on the Darkseer. TP just bought out his BKB, and it got delivered to him mid-fight, but that was going all in on winning the fight. They don't even have the glyph.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
By the time they kill this tower, the creeps will be in the range again. They could push up onto the high ground. They might
Dire's
just end the
middle
game.
tower has fallen.
You see how much of a difference that makes when the supports actually die at the start of the fight?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bob's going to make sure he cuts bottom. They do have the creeps pushed in. So they want to get tier 2 and potentially second
Dire's
set
middle tower
instead of going
has
for
fallen.
the tier 4s. They're pinging it. Someone is.
Dire's middle barracks has
Gonna
fallen.
have 3 heroes up in at
Dire's
least
bottom
15.
tower is under attack.
Maybe they'll go for potentially melee bottom. See how fast they can
A
push.
lot of
but-
respect. Got a fair few creeps in
Dire's
your own
bottom
base,
tower has
including a
fallen.
super melee creep that's just standing there.
Radiant's middle tower
Oh,
is
he's
under
getting.
attack.
Oh no, he's getting gang rushed by the Radiant.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, Bob looking to catch out stragglers. GY did
mean,
just
this is
buy
the time to do it.
back.
Has fallen.
And
Dire's
this
bottom
pop,
barracks
and you're happy with that.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's
I understand,
bottom
obviously,
has fallen.
the importance of not wanting to, dive in super deep. There is, of course, the threat of the buyback coming through from the Terrorblade. The Quap was coming up shortly. Like, that was a perfect little window to get maybe a deeper Observer Ward up than the one that they placed just right on the edge there. If you're able to catch out those supports again, the following team fights just become so much simpler.
And Palos just finished a huge item to enable him in these fights, which we've already seen how the swap has been with them blowing up Yif and menu ping. It's just enabled the rest of the cores to not be worried about the support saving. But now having Linkage, you're not worried about the purge or the banishment to hold him back. Either.
Going to Bell Prism now on Bob as well. So
Smoked up, you've gonna jump. It's just Vincenzo to start. Palos is still nearby. He's under a ward. Palos, you know they warded that, but maybe he's baiting. As Bob's gonna try and provide some assistance. Absorb. Palos getting ripped apart, playing off the back of the BKB. Do they have
Thinking him like
detection? They
mad.
don't. Palos blinks away. Now the rest of Execration crumbling the backline. 3 are gone. No buybacks. It's gonna be Yif along with my man
just
on
off.
TB to turn this one back around. But I don't know if VT Fader can do so. Stuns up. Still, they're going to look to kite the Terrorblade as best as possible. Yours to simulate the whole kitchen being thrown at the Terrorblade. E-Blade too. VT Fader just can't right-click anyone. So we're able to get out. The cost is 2 heroes, but solid.
Shanks wants to come back.
Bob wants to go back in as well. The rest of
Just
the goons
baiting
want to
him.
show up. I mean, you still got Palos. It's a lot of damage on the Templar Assassin, even though he's got a lot of armor from the Terrorblade.
Yours?
No one else can show up. You've got to be cautious of the Sunder potential. A lot of the items are also on cooldown as well, so the chain control won't give him an opportunity. Vincenzo tips over to Palace. Tip of the hat to you, my good sir, as now Roche the cherry on top.
That is what the refresher. Not amazing this game, but well, happy to give that one over to the likes of the Void Spirit in particular. He's very cooldown reliant right now, so look to give that one over to Bob.
Dire's middle tower has fallen to the Radiant.
Hello? Pressure? Odd check?
Someone's pinging it. Vincenzo's like,
trying to send it into the pit, and it's like, well, it's gonna eventuate there. Oh, no.
Your
Dire's
tier
middle
4s
tower
are
is under attack.
taking a bit of a beating. You really don't want to lose too many. One's gone. You might lose a couple of heroes as well. You have to hold your buyback on the Terrorblade, especially with meta on cooldown. I mean, you're gonna be forced to use it though. You have to be forced to use it. You cannot hold at all. There we go. Buyback coming into play. That's a great back. Ooh, first life bye-bye from the Templar Assassin as Palace now. Let's see, he's able to reset for round 2. BKB inside the infantry. It's going to take a little bit too long though. Ragdoll and Orca live to tell this story. I mean, Quap might not be as fortunate though. Tina's going to pop the refresher. A second use of the charge into the midst. They brought down 2. Shanks, I mean, out of all heroes with the triple. Oh, though,
Cheese.
Still in a bit of trouble. Cheese Jules along with E-Blade, so he should be okay. Doesn't get much out of the use of the cheese, and Bob's going to end up falling, actually. Wait, what?
And had the Your Scepter to be able to save himself as well.
How did he not get healed from cheese?
I think he had the Scardy on him, so it was reduced quite heavily.
So it did, like, nothing? It looked like he got, like, 300 health.
Yeah. It do be like that, though.
I mean, it is 40%, I suppose, so there's a lot of reduction.
Well, I feel like it was a very ballsy move to stay after the Terrorblade buys back. I think at least you don't necessarily have to leave the base, but you have to wait the 5 seconds for the Spirit Breaker and Snapfire to join the rest of the team, because if they're there, you don't get such a free way to focus down the Templar Assassin. They're not going to need to buy back at least on the Void Spirit and the TA, but you've given up a fair portion for no reason.
How has Shanks got overwhelming blink? How look at
The Beast Man, he's fought.
Wait, what the hang on a second. They didn't give him the shard or the items, like nothing like that. Bottom?
He bought everything.
Wait, Tino's
he
a
earned.
big kill. He earned this with blood, sweat, and tears.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
He's level 26. Why and how?
He just got a triple kill. He's putting in a ton of work in these fights. I want to see his damage by the end of this game, because that early shard plus the ethereal blade and the talent and constantly being in the right position with the overwhelming blink, it's adding up for sure.
We did see him go first item. Is that what you said? First item shard?
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, he got it
tower
really
is
early at like
Yeah,
the 16-minute mark, I think.
Like that did
And then he
buff
followed it
up
up
his farm a
immediately
lot.
after by the blink dagger. So you're just able to, even moving around the map faster, right, does enable that quite heavily.
Like, I wonder if this is how he's in this position, considering that early ag shot and you've got a lot of map to play with. I mean, that's a 25,000 net worth lead with both tier 4s down, full set of barracks advantage, considering Dire have at least got top open. He's working on it.
You were a little concerned about your Orca prediction?
No, my guy, it's there's an 18% probability for the lads on Dire.
without consequence.
It's that generous? Wow. They don't know about the Shanks factor.
Yeah, they don't, but you probably need refresher on Darks here, I feel like. You're so farmed on the Spirit Breaker, which it's really making it difficult for the Dire support to position. We've seen, it's felt like, honestly, the past 15 minutes, their involvement in team fights has been very lackluster.
Are they just like trying to backdoor this? They're starting to ping the enemy base. And eventually you're going to need to defend this. Your creep wave's pushing in on the bottom side, and it's a very healthy one. Double siege creep wave, super melee creeps. So you might be able to get them on the
He
retreat.
jumped just to Palace. The spell block from the 25. He's going to follow suit as well. The rest of Radiant are a bit disconnected, so Vincenzo's going to lose his life, but the wall's already used preemptive. Look at that! Tusk gets blown apart. Now with the backline, Bob's also eyeing up the Shadow Demon, so another support's going to end up dropping. But again, Palace, he's got no one nearby. It won't matter. Palace with the refraction charges blinks away to tell the tale.
Oh, it's a bit silly, this TA hero, man. He hit level 25. TV did the right thing. He was wailing into him, trying to get that last little bit of damage needed, but get through all of those refraction instances. 13 to get that level 25 talent. It's just way too much.
Someone go to the DD, please.
See it.
They're gonna see Yif if he connects, and now they're gonna see VT faded. Okay, they were starting to move.
Won't have the meta though, so that feels like the much bigger deal. You know that they were using that onto you. You could even maybe afford to wait for the Ogre to be alive.
VT faded. Look at the turn, Bob in a bit of trouble.
I must
Oh, there's the DD. My lord, VT faded. Meta expired though. Nowhere near potential enough goal for a refresher.
Die back here, Bob.
Tino's in. So is Palace. They're going to try and jump the Tusk. They're able to blow him up, but they're still going to be cautious though, Palace. Health pool getting evaporated. Look at the illusion damage really starting to ramp up. He's going to buy back as well. Eyes the boots of travel. Going to start to connect. Throne still exposed. Die. They've got Glyph. Lacking the buyback, so VT Fade is going to be the target. It's all on Jiff to try and disrupt him to maybe enable a Sunder out. VT Fade pops the PKB, but it doesn't get the Sunder. Can't find a target. It's all on GY, but geez, it dropped, and in the end, Execration take the series 2-0.
Do you ever get tired of being wrong? I want to ask
what
that.
the hell?
I'm sorry, if you're going to lay into me about it with lies and gaslighting, I'm going to let you know too. I mean, I understand completely where you're coming from, right? Terrorblade, such a scary prospect to go up against when it's just like that pure TA. But, oh, he did actually go the boots of Bearing on the Spirit Breaker at the end of it all, just for the extra charges. Yeah, they weren't expecting Shanks to pop off like he did. He did a crazy amount of damage that game, 42,000, basically level with the Void Spirit, the TA, and the Terrorblade. It's what this man is able to do. He just provides that X factor that I feel like Execration have been lacking for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, this addition to the lineup of Execration, it's looking good, honestly. Very excited to see how they're able to continue to perform. And again, this is your big series nonetheless to take, because now Orca, your next series against Polaris is not a gimme. It's not
free.
Yeah, it's not a freebie at all. And I mean, what we're saying, they only need to win one map to guarantee upper bracket, and they've had. I mean, you're going to get 4 opportunities. Two are now down the drain. So, I mean, Polaris are currently, second or first position? I think they're second, right?
Second.
So, yeah, that's not tough at all, considering how strong the the Polaris Division 1 team is now looking. But for us, that's going to be our last game and series of the night. And finally, we get a 2-0 as well. Our first 2-0s were all 1-1, but now to outround the night, we'll have Execration coming out on top. Tomorrow, it's just going to be 2 series, and the games will be starting at the same time with 5 p.m. Singapore. And yeah, it's going to be kicking off Polaris up against Orca, and then Execration versus Neon as well. So, is there potential for... Because Neon is still on... Wait, what's the head to...
I don't think so.
Neon tied T1, and they tied with the angle. There is potential.
Okay, yeah, okay. If they 2-0, who are they playing?
Execration. They're looking good, so it's not easy. But yeah, I mean, we have, so at the moment, I'll have the standings up when we go off screen, but I'll just say it for now. Lil Gun Polaris, they're guaranteed upper bracket. SMG, of course, they withdrew. And the only teams guaranteed lower bracket at the moment is Execration and Motivate. So still T1, Yangon, Orca, and Neon are fighting for 2 upper bracket places and 2 lower bracket places. But I will have this all up on the screen when we say goodbye. But yeah, for us, that's going to be it for us tonight. We will be back for one playoff series. We're going to be back on the 2nd, so that's going to be exciting to see how the playoffs are shaping up at that stage. But Come back for the last day of Group Stage tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. Singapore, for some more BTS Pro Series 10 Group Stage action.
Good night.